Hello, my name is Nicholas. I'm Nicholas and Stephanie. I have another question here today. This person would like to know, how is it possible to remember everything and dance musically and have fun? This question resonates with me on a personal level, and I'll talk more about that later. But first I'm going to start from the learning perspective, which the answer is quite simple: you can't. You'll find this in a lot of learning literature. You have 4 stages of the learning process. The first is unconscious incompetence. That's where you don't know what you don't know. The second is conscious incompetence. That's where you know just enough to know how bad you are. And I don't like that one. The third one is conscious competence, where you have to focus really hard on what you're doing, but you can do it if you focus on it. And the third is when you've done that enough, then it becomes like muscle memory, where you have unconscious competence. And those are things that you might not even appreciate anymore because you're like, oh yeah, I just, whatever, I just do them. So I already said this, but it is not possible to remember everything. That's why we go through these steps of learning, so we don't, because you can't do, even if without even looking at the list, like if I asked you to do 3 things at once that you're trying to learn while you're dancing, it's very difficult. That's why when you, or at least when I teach, I ask my students, okay, focus on one thing. Your walking may go to shit, your posture may be terrible, but I want you to focus on your feet. How you're using your feet, or are you dancing? I want you to take heel steps, or I want you to take toe steps. And then once we kind of get that, then we go back and we say, okay, now let's see if we can integrate this into everything. Well, everything else. So anyway, you can't. The second component of this question, which is the more personal side for me, is I'm detecting, or I could just be, putting on my own stuff on this, I could be detecting a hint of the word should. The word should is this word that will put a lot of pressure onto you, where I imagine this person has this expectation that he's supposed to remember everything. I'm assuming it's a he. Could be a she. That he's supposed to remember everything, and he's supposed to dance musically, and he's supposed to have fun. Like, he should be doing all those things, and he should be able to do all those things at once. And that I can understand, because I have very perfectionistic tendencies, which I still wrestle with from time to time. And I don't go this far with this anymore, but I'll take you to the kind of the extreme negative of where this can go. Is you start to go, and by I say you, I mean me, but you start to go like, man, I'm supposed to do all these things. Why can't I do all these things? I should be able to do them. And you have trouble measuring up to your own ridiculous expectations, and it starts to erode your confidence or your self-worth, or going like, man, I should do this and I can't do it. Why can't I do it? I'm so bad at this. I'm so stupid, or I don't learn fast enough. And you get all this negative feedback from yourself, from your unrealistic expectations, and you might think about quitting tango, or you might think about not enjoying learning. And so, again, I'm speaking more from personal experience. What will help is if you shift your perspective on learning. If you go, okay, you know what? Learning is fun. I like learning. I like the incremental process of going through those 4 stages of learning and being able to say, you know what, I've got this thing in unconscious competence. Yes, I accomplished that. So if you set out a goal being like, you know what, today I'm going to be able to do an ocho starting either to the left or to the right. You don't go, I should be able to do ochos on both sides. You go, I want to be able to accomplish this, and then you practice. And it might take 1 day, it might take 2 days, it might take 3 days, but you keep working at it. And then all of a sudden, one day you accomplish it, and you don't even think of it, and you go, yes, I did it! And then you get that positive feedback mechanism, which will encourage you to continue learning. And again, when I say you, I really mean me. So that's my guess would be, is if this person had like all these kind of pressures to, how is it possible to remember everything and dance musically and have fun? I guess this person doesn't dance tango anymore, because that sounds really miserable. I really hope this person dances tango still, and I hope that understanding a bit more about the learning process and understanding like setting more realistic goals for assessing whether or not you are improving will help. And don't be so hard on yourself. So my name is Nicholas. Thank you for watching.